see. We are live. Good morning, everyone. We are live. Woo, happy Venus Friday. Let's see. Let me just post this near. Good morning, everyone. So let's wait till everybody joins us. We had to use this Facebook live chat because somehow the other one was not working, and we're hoping people will be able to find this one. Let's see who joins us first.
Happy Friday, crazy hair day.
Happy Venus Friday.
We decided to allow our hair to be free in the wild, in the expression of its fullness, because it's the end of the year, and why not just allow it to be in its fullness of
full divine expression.
Full divine expression. So our lion harnesses are on today, and we fully feel.
In the honor of Venus Friday, end of 2018, and the gods and goddesses of water that are so easily blessing our Washington, D.C. metro area. So good morning. Let's grab our tea. Let's toast to our tea. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Tea time. Hello, Doreen. Hello,
Doreen.
Nancy. So much love you. Thank you. So just so that you know, Doreen, you probably haven't seen this before. This is our hair. So when we wake up, Michael and I usually I blow dry my hair straight, and
I try to do something.
Michael tried to do this, but this is this is our hair. Yeah. So. We love our hair. What can we say?
I don't know if you're intuitively feeling, but how are you feeling? Like, I'm feeling good, Doreen.
Thank you.
Weird enough, my belly's feeling a little strange this morning after eating, so I'm moving through some energetic things right now.
He ate a lot of sun-kissed oranges this morning. They were so good. So you attacked a few along with the amazing papaya and the pear.
I think I may have eaten too many fruits. I don't know what happened.
Exactly. But, let's see. Oh, hello, Christina.
Hello,
so much.
Christina.
Thank you. I'm glad you're.
We're letting it all go. You think you're on the last day of the year. Why the last episode? This is our
week 9. Let's show the completion. So yeah, this
week
is
9's transformation. Maybe next week we'll see each other with no hair.
No, don't say that. So I'm my Arcturian body. I have no hair. There is no hair. It's just totally bald, and it's nice to have hair in this incarnation.
It's it's nice to go absolutely
like
just
a
little I don't know.
Just a little inside thing between Michael and I. So I had to show Michael how to wash his hair the goddess way. To Michael, do you want to tell them for a second what I taught you how to wash your hair properly? Because most men with long hair, they have no idea what to do with their hair. So
she wanted me to take every little thing and to wash it very, very slowly for I don't know. A lot of people when they massage their hair or wash their hair,
this is that
I usually get it all in here and here, and he's like, no, just take the shampoo and just
I said shampoo. You just put it like this, and you just gently glide it, and then you let it wash. You don't ever go like this.
Yeah.
And so then his hair started looking very different.
Well,
and then I showed him how to use the big comb gently have a relationship with his hair.
In the wintertime, it gets very frizzy because if it's not dry out there, it's dry on here. And when it's tropical, it has curls, everything's good. But now I just don't know what's happening.
I think we look like lions. Michael, bring your hair.
It's a bit crazy.
We feel the lion energy, huh? The lion aspect of us.
Hair going nuts.
Anyway, so much love. So thank you for letting us vent a little bit about our hair. And let's see, what are you drinking? What are you drinking? I'd love to hear. What tea do you have in your hand today? So Michael, what you got?
I have a ginger because my stomach for some reason is feeling a little queasy. So ginger is a nice little warming, and as not many, but I've been getting over a little these transformations through these wonderful holidays and the sensitivities that come through our families.
Yes.
Departed ones. It's nice to embrace it all. As we say, we're not sick. We're just moving through things. So it's been a beautiful week of great transformation. So no better to have some ginger tea.
Yeah, it's good. Does yours have a message on it today? What's your yogi tea say?
My message says, turmeric tea with fresh ginger and lemon. Nice to read.
Oh, nice. I love turmeric tea. We make a lot of that. But you know what I do? I also add mint to it and honey. It's amazing.
So this says, kindness is the light of life.
Oh, perfect one for you. So I have some peppercorn in my tea and then mixed with some lemongrass and a few other things in it.
Is that the one? Is that the Kundalini? Is that the tea from
No,
Manchester?
this is from Tijuana.
Okay.
Yeah. So lots of blessings to our tea.
Tijuana, Mexicano?
No, that's the tea store.
Oh,
I'm probably saying it wrong
you said
anyway.
Tijuana. I was like, you got tea from Tijuana.
I'm pronouncing it
clean
wrong.
tea.
Anyway, so much love, much love. It's the last Friday of 2018. And it's amazing. It's like, where do we begin? Where do we begin, really?
I think
2018, like this. What a magical, mystical, transformative, transcendent, transfigured. I feel like all the trances took place in this year.
I feel like it wasn't a light year by any means. It was a year of, if everything is going to come out, it's going to come out in its fullness, in its highest expression, and there's no holding back or hiding, because whatever needs to be revealed is going to be shown. I feel like this year was a complete year of like, are you guys ready to bring it out? Because
you feel it was more for you or collective energy?
I feel collectively, because I both. I feel myself, but I also feel collectively, because when you look at the events, when you look at the energy in society, I just feel like it's so much is emerging outwardly. There's so much happening, and we don't really go into the external environment, and we really don't really go into the politics or the media itself, but just being on the outer edge of it, there's just a lot of things that have been brought forward. And I feel in a collective end, and just what we do in energetic frequency, we see that through our own families, our own patients on a collective level. I feel like there's just a whole lot of transformation and change going on. So a lot of up in, the thing is just, I feel like purging, a lot of things coming up, outwardly, cleanse, debris, purify, revitalize, a lot just moving through in our highest transformation. What about you?
So I feel that I was just, as you were telling me, I was going to last New Year's Eve when we led the New Year's Eve event and bringing 2018, the mastery year. I remember I feel like we had, 55 people that took part, and it was at 11 p.m. We started at 10 p.m. taking people into the New Year's with the meditation. And remember, it's the 108. We had people bring their mala beads so we can do the sort of like the decree, in that place. It was the chant. I don't remember what chant it was. Do you remember?
The I am chant.
It was one of the I ams. So anyway, it's so incredible, that energy. Then we moved into the new year, and I felt immediately it kicked off for me. It kicked off. Wow. It kicked off from what had just taken place in December into the new year. As most of you may know, let's see, it's about a week. No, I'm 10 days short from my 7-year anniversary of crossing over my death experience and experiencing life after death and then being sent back. So that's on January 8th. So last year, the way we entered it, and so much took place in transformation with the StarSeed class, the invocations of the higher body, their higher dimensional abilities and access, and I feel this master year for me, Michael, was a kick-ass year. literally kicking my butt in every way to apply the living codes of Magdalene and Yeshua in form, in consciousness, while facing tremendous density and darkness, and having the ability to apply them to allow that transcend, but another level, to have the Ascension team above to fully involve them and engage them in all areas of life that had to be transcended. So I feel like I grew about 10 years in this year. Growth in terms of my the wisdom, the knowledge, the depth of access to my I am, the presence being more within this physical expression. So I feel that unity of the united bridge of my soul consciousness, my divine aspect, being much more immersed with my human incarnation, and then experiencing more of the as an observer seat in experiencing the third dimensional reality, but from a higher dimensional consciousness, and recognizing that it has to be brought in no matter how difficult. I continuously have to allow that aspect of me be brought into this form. So it has been a very incredible year on so many levels.
I feel it's been the word auspicious comes to mind in a way that there's been so much moving forward. Personally, I feel the most deepest and largest fears have come through my life.
Yeah.
I feel the fear of letting go was the deepest one with my father. The fear of loss.
Yeah.
The fear of not fully accepting myself and expressing my fullness, and the fear of with exception, there's obviously rejection, because there's that ability of when we don't feel accepted within ourselves, there's that ability of feeling the fear of being left out, or the fear of not being included. It all revolves around one. And this year, I feel that on a collective level, it just feels like there's so much light and a lot of just evolution happening.
Right.
At the same time, I see also a large level of resistance at the same time.
Right.
It's like the light shining at its highest and growing so many forces, but I feel there's other aspects where the dark is challenging.
Do you feel the dark was very intense and very strong, like the ultimate strength?
I feel it was,
in the
because
midst of it?
what seemed, and I can only speak from my personal level, but I feel like there were waves, and these waves seemed to come as, there was like this very high peak, and then all of a sudden there was like a crash into the bottom, and there was a high peak, and there was just waves, and there were periods where there was like tranquility, and I feel there was really, when I look back, this past summer, when we had this triple eclipse before the gateway,
oh my gosh,
when my dad transcended, and leading up to that, it just seemed like it was just building, and I guess what I really see is the joy and the excitement now when looking back at it and being like,
do you feel you're on the other side?
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna ask, do you feel like there's somehow you're on the other side of something?
What happens is, like when you're on like a boat and you're just like, and you finally make it to land, and you're like, land, and you're like hugging the land, and it's like I remember like being in the ocean one time, and there was like these 18 foot waves.
Oh my gosh.
And my roommate's like, let's go surf. So we get out there, and I get out there like, oh, I'm in San Diego, and these waves that went underneath me were like, oh my gosh, I can't take these waves in. And then there were like helicopters going above us, and we got and the tide took us all the way down to the pier, and we're in the no surfing area, and all these waves were just crashing down. They were crashing down. So I felt like this year was like these waves crashing. As the waves were crashing, I remember like taking the board, and no one was around me, and saying, okay, all I gotta do is just ride one and hold on for dear life, because I'm gonna get my butt whooped. Yeah. And I remember just feeling the magnitude of force coming underneath me, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And I had a longboard, which you're not supposed to go to a longboard with these big waves. So all of a sudden, I like looked, and I just kept trying to time them. I just gotta take her to shore. So here she comes. I just saw this mammoth one. I'm like, here we go. And I just take it. It's closing out. I just hug the board, and it just goes bam, turn, lost the board, throw it all the way. I swear it took me like probably a minute to finally get washed on the shore after all that. And I got to the land. I can't remember just placing my hand, my face on the sand, hands there, being like, Mama Earth, I'm so happy. I just felt this like accomplishment of like, wow, I just weathered this storm. This feeling of just like I'm on the earth. I'm out of this tumultuous, tumbling waves that have just been pulling me, dragging me, suffocating me. And then when I got to earth, it's like now on the other side, I was like, like a sense of just relief. So I feel that's where personally,
that's how it's been 2018.
2008 and all
2018.
2018 as what's gone through. And it's this feeling of like, wow, because sometimes we can look back at where we were a year ago without judgment, but just reflection.
Yeah, I mean, it's total reflection. It's that incredible gift you give to yourself to be aware. You know, it's the awareness in their recognition, right? I love that. What you say with the earth. Hi, Demetrius. Welcome. Thank you so much. And we really want to also hear from you, Doreen, Nancy, Demetrius. Please do let us. Christina, you're here. Let us know, how would you say 2018 has been for you? We would like to hear.
One word, a sentence, a phrase.
However, how would you describe it? Because this is all sharing
we're all
together.
Here together. And those that are not here, you know, bring your energy into it.
You can share it in the comment later. I feel for me, there are a couple of things. You're talking about that ocean and earth. For me, has been also, I feel this has not been the year where I've gone through the cosmic wash machine. I've gone through that before. For me, I usually look at it, it's like the cosmic wash machine. And I've been in that, like the fast spinning. And then now I felt like I've gone through that. This year for me was being in the dryer.
That's a dry guy. Because look at our hair. I feel like it just got out of the dryer. So the washing machine's over. And
yeah, that was like the drying in the central sun, in the galactic sun, in the source of all sun. I'm finally being like dried out, and so I feel like, oh yeah, that part is done. Thank God, because I feel it's done. And on a personal level, I felt 2018, what represented for me was being able to stand up for my right, for my truth, my heart, and not backing down. And that included various things, from my former spouse, standing up to my brother, standing up to my mother. These are very close to me. Standing up to you, standing up to, you know, like my children, and really from a place of, not from a place of ego, not from a place of judgment, none of that, from a true place of the divine in me, my heart, my spirit, and that I can no longer betray my heart anymore. I'm not willing to go against me because those around me are not willing to take this step into their own evolvement journey, in their expansion, in their expression, in their, you know, ascension, literally. So it was very much like, okay, that's it. I am moving forward, and I'm no longer going to be hurting myself because because my energy is going to this area that doesn't want to evolve. So I'm going to remove myself from it, move forward, and if they want, they can come around. And I feel, and there was a lot of education, like I'm standing up for my life. This is not right. I will not take it. I will not take what you are unwilling to evolve to push on that intensity on me or density. That's your responsibility. I will no longer carry your garbage. And I feel that's been the hugest part for me this year. And then, of course, then the implementation and the anchoring of the Magdalene Christ codes, but in this sacred, gracious way. Like, no, like completely has been the expression of my throat chakra in its fullness, but all the way from my heart. In the depth of the from the depth of the pain in its revelation. So that's been a huge one for me. The ultimate standing up has been this year for me.
And I like how you said implementation, because I really resonate with that as the implementation of these codes, because there are moments where personally I just felt at times that were just the hardest and most challenging, difficult times this year of my life.
Yeah.
And in that implementation and in those codes of that compassion,
right,
in that honor of surrendering, in the ability to just stay present and really, really feel what was moving through, and to honor it, and to bring forth in that resurrection that is coming forward. Because it really, for me this year, it just, I don't know if it's a spin cycle. It just was just wave after wave where energy had to come through and really bring forward what is to be purified, what is to be cleansed. Lots of clearing. Definitely. And for all of us, I mean, we speak from our personal experience, but I'm sure all of us, when we look at this year, we say tests. I feel it's that mastery within ourselves. It's Doreen, you wrote a very good thing. I remembered. I really feel there is a great remembrance that's coming forth, because when we hear each other, when I listen to Honey, it's wonderful that it is a remembrance that's coming forward. It is ancient wisdom. Everything that's coming forward is reminding us of the reason why we are here,
right?
And what's coming forth. And I find that out of all of this, it's as hard or challenging. It's also very exciting, because being on the other side and looking back and really looking at it, and he's like, okay, what is hard? Really, what is difficult? Really, we always thrive through it. We always push ourselves through it. There's nothing stopping us. Everything happens for a reason. There's this feeling of now on the other side of being like, wow, we did it. We went through a year and we got tested, we got challenged, we got rewarded.
Rewarded.
We celebrated. We went through the highs, we went through the lows, yet at the very end, and it's something I want to speak about on Sunday, there's a celebration that we honor within ourselves of really giving us that opportunity, because sometimes that mental minds on the next area, like, okay, I gotta do this, but really to stop and say, well, I need to really celebrate myself for moving through this element that came through that created such trials and tribulations. Not really sit and rest, like I did it. I now need to feed myself that congratulations, that ability to be like, wow, I moved through it. It doesn't have has a hold over me, because what I loved what you said the other day, and I remember when you said this, is once we move through it, we've then passed that test. There's no going backwards. Once we expand and transform it, it doesn't have a hold of it.
No.
So as quickly as we are to go, which sometimes we're moving so fast in the frequency and the vibrations, there is that element of like really sitting and giving that ability of appreciation, gratitude that there was this great piece of the puzzle that now has been put together, and now it gives more strength,
Mm-hmm.
more confidence,
Mm-hmm.
more courage. And what I really see is more fire.
Yeah.
And that ability
that
to
can
create.
come out.
Yeah.
Totally. I love what you said. I love that. Because I feel like when on a collective level, I feel that there was the ultimate level of between 2012 and 2018, the 6 year, we've been going through layers and layers of purification and transformation. Leading up to 2012 itself was quite a bit, and then it went to an acceleration of so like the years that led up to like let's say the 100 years that led up to 2012. This 6 years has been expedited, like let's say 50 times faster the speed. What we just went through that would not have been able to be accomplished before, only because in the energetic or in the frequency field on the planet, as Gaia moved to her fourth dimensional consciousness, it created the field within the grids of Mother Earth to be able to carry these higher dimensional frequencies. And of course, through the assistance of the dragons and the elementals and unicorns and angels and ascended masters and what have you, these fields were able to be adjusted in a way so the fields within our own element our own earth element could expand enough so that in order these shadow aspects of ourself, they can finally be released from the layers within our bodies, whether it's been in our monads or aspects and what have you, because wherever parts of ourselves have been held in, let's say, this incarnation in our inner child or teenager or adult somewhere, and just this reality, or then it's been in different realities, multiple realities or different universes. So it's been this collection of different aspects of us coming together with all of our lifetime finally being able to merge, come in, but in order for all of it to sort of like come back together in its divine alignment, it's been this purging, purification, clearing, transformation, transcendence, and all of this has had to go, because as those fields open up, then more of the divine blueprint is able to be stabilized and presented or living from that true conscious state, awakened state, because you're not going backward, and that's more crystalline. So all of these things that we have faced has been also part of us to interact with the frequencies that no longer hold truth within our vibration. So that way we learn how to apply the higher aspect of ourselves, which has been the compassion, the compassion has been the biggest one, which is the Christed way of being, loving in those ways. And so it's been an incredible test after test after test. And
it's really fun sometimes. It's fun to really feel where you're at in the moment.
Yeah.
And then to like look back a year or two and be like, wow. Like I laugh at myself because like 2 years ago, Honey used to make fun of me all the time because when it became cold, I was like the worst. Like if it dropped below 40, I was like, oh my gosh. I would wear, well, I still do wear a lot to get to bed, but I would have covers and I'd wake up and when it's rainy and it's cloudy and it's just interesting when there's a certain perspective about yourself. Me, it was obviously weather and cold because 17 years of living away from the East Coast.
And it still is, my love. Let's just
you've been
thinking, you're doing so good. You're doing so good.
We're still evolving. We're still a beginner every day as we start this evolution of ascension, honoring that I am still working.
But I'm glad you're reflecting back.
But reflecting
right?
in that celebration of the self, of just looking within, of like one perspective that knew that it just really triggered you. It really got you.
Talk about you, not them.
Well, that's
you.
what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm
triggered me.
Triggered me. And so in that, it's interesting because when I had that revelation this morning, like, well, it's rainy and it's cold. It's another winter day. Yet there's still feeling of, I'm excited. I'm happy. It's Friday. We get to be on tea time with my love, with all of you. That there is this difference. And what I'm bringing forward is that excitement that there's something that's shifted or something that's evolved.
Yeah, right.
Because, yes.
Before it used to make you crazy, it would actually affect your mood.
Well,
you would be very affected, Michael.
I was.
Depressed and just, oh my God, the minute you wouldn't see sun, you would go downhill and very fast.
For those just to short glimpse, after living on the East Coast, we all know these gloomy, cold winters. I mean, it's like London in a nutshell, really. No offense, Demetrius. I know London's much more crazy than the East Coast. Yet, living in San Diego, Mexico, and having sun every single day, you really do shift your whole vibration of just feeling what that sun does. And I remember the Council of Light when they came through. And when we were in Mexico, it's that vibration of light comes forward. And now what's amazing is I feel that in our morning prayers, and when each morning we have the ability to, connect with the Ascended Master, speak to the angels, speak to our guides, and really feel that light within us. I feel this illumination that, okay, it's cloudy, okay, it's raining, okay, it's gloomy, and not go in this like, well, it's just so sunny in Mexico right now, and not click on all my friends' pages.
You no longer feel like
there's this pool of it. And yes, I'm sure, when there's a certain week after it's below 20 or 30 for 7 straight 10 days, considering our bedroom is the Arctic of the Arctic, so we have 3 windows and no strong windows. It does have an effect, but I'm giving myself a little.
But anyway, I'm going through a little bit of a female, what you call an earth plane menopause. So I am hot, like I'm very. I
North and South Pole.
I typically sleep naked anyway, but I've been wearing my tank top and I'm like burning hot. Meanwhile, Michael comes in with a t-shirt and for that he tucks in his big what you call winter pajama pants too, and sock, and sometimes he has a hoodie. This is in bed, and meanwhile he's like, it's so cold. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm so hot. and it's so
tell the two worlds at night.
So funny because it's such a reversal. Look how far I've become, because before I would be the one who would be so freezing cold, but I'm also transcendent because my attention is more on you.
Which she's not saying I distract her sensitivity because she's always escaping the cold. So now because I have that sensitivity,
so
she
much
loves
more
that ability of
like
distracting her, because she's like, oh, don't worry, we'll leave.
Look how divine blessed me. I'm 46 and a half, right? I'm going through the hormonal changes. I'm so excited, but I have all this heat in me, but maybe the physical body is that, but just like you, every morning when I get up, Michael, and I start, the minute I said, wow, I am the resurrection and the life, I feel this like boom, sun like illuminating in me, and it's so freaking hot. So when you come in someday, I'm like taking more stuff because when I pray in that room, I'm so hot. And
so I wish that heat would be there at night, because our room is like the coldest room of our place, because there's.
But when we're interacting with the higher dimensional frequency, angels, masters, all that are part of ourselves, and it just starts engulfing with that sacred flame, the sacred fire inside. So it's healing us. Right. But so how beautiful! The
point being is for myself and for all of us, there is that celebration, congratulations of how far we've come, because every year is another master year for us, just to say, wow, you know what? I may not be a little sensitive P when it comes to this. You know what? I got over that. And I feel the more we start to acknowledge that and recognize that behavior, usually we recognize a lot of the behaviors that we don't like, but let's start recognizing the behaviors that we've become stronger. We've become, more.
You've evolved into. So let's
into.
ask you, if somebody would ask you in 2000, by the way, that's a beautiful violet they just changed. Yeah. Oh, nice. If somebody, we asked you in 2018, what would you say you really, what was it in your life that now you're on the other side of it? It's behind you. It's transcended, it's transformed, and it no longer has a hold over you. Love to hear from you. What we'd like to share.
What would you say, like, if you look at this year and say something that had a hold over you and now it doesn't have a hold over you? What would you?
The safety of my children.
Yeah.
The safety of my children, because this year was very challenging. They were moving into the new house with their father and the partner who doesn't really want to interact with us, with Michael and I. We're very close, but she's just still not in that place that wants to. She has her own consciousness from 5 years ago, and she still holds on to that. There's no room in evolving that yet.
Blessings in life to her.
Lots of, just like, but we've included her every day in our prayer. I include her every day in my prayer. Extend a lot of love from the angels in that openness. So for me, was very much my children in that trust, in this transformation, that again, that trust that I've had for years, but even stronger, that they're safe, they're good, but being standing up for that enough and moving into trust that doesn't have a holdover, because my voice was heard. And the other part that ties into the inner child for me, in which as a child, I didn't have that.
Did you see what Doreen just wrote?
No.
So she were integrating my inner child. Right on
well,
point.
Yeah, right. Which integrating is that, which, because I didn't have that, my inner child, me as a child was not protected. It gave me the opportunity to also heal that part of myself. And I feel there's still going to be a little bit more in that region. But right now I feel I'm on the other side of it. My children, it's just a wonderful space. They're in the other house, they come and go. It's really transformed and evolved. I feel that was the biggest part for me.
And I love how you said your children, inner child, and Doreen said inner child, because at the same time, a message came through isn't it interesting when we do go through a transformation that one of the most sensitive aspects of ourself is that inner child?
Yeah.
And it's really empowering to feel when we connect with that inner child. This morning, I had a conversation with my inner child, because I felt that, through the reflection, I really wanted to see what parts of me are still, holding on to sadness, or maybe sensitive, or just vulnerable.
Right.
Honor that vulnerability and really give that permission to communicate to the inner child and saying it's okay. And at the same time, providing the compassion, the nourishment, the love, and just the comfort to that inner child so it can feel safe. So I love how you said that, because part of it is I really feel safety, security in that inner child is the foundation we see, from the chakras to our feet to the earth to what is being placed, because it's that inner essence within us. It is that child. And I really feel in our first years of life, that's when a lot of our inner child is affected. So thank you for sharing that. It's beautiful to hear that. And I love the timing of divine.
Because we're on it together.
Because of what Doreen said. Nancy, safety and security. I feel that has been, if not one of the biggest, just when we look at the feminine divine. When just seeing how much has been brought forward in the awareness, what's been happening on mainstream, what's been happening within us, but seeing the growth and the energy. And really what I really appreciate is just women now, and I see this even recently, are really standing up and really coming forth in an empowered state, very different than I would say 20, 30 years ago, where it was more of a a feminist, hardcore, angry,
Right.
let's tear down the men and recognize women's rights. I feel like we've expanded that. But
Right.
what's beautiful now is the ability for them to share the vulnerable sides of them,
Right.
share where has been the abuse, in the manipulation, in the sexual harassment, and just what masculine has done for 20,000 years, which I feel, Nancy, that safety and security is really being brought forward to evolve.
Completely.
Yeah,
completely. And I feel like it again is those when we're talking about what's on the other side of it, like once that recognition, the awareness is then we are able to then move into the space of the true security and true safety, and that is the alignment with divine. When we are aligning with divine, then the inner child is safe. So one of the things that began happening to me from last year through some of those experiences, and some of you may not know, but last year January I had almost like a little bit of a breakdown. It was a very horrific attack that I was under with some of with a draconian being, and Michael caught me, and he had to call upon higher system because it had taken over and it was basically choking me, and it was but that space was allowed to enter into my field because the inner child of me had become extremely unsafe. So then it allowed that space to clear in me as beloved Mother Mary and beloved Yeshua both entered my field and began talking to Michael, and this draconian being was able to dissolve out of my field because they had come in, because there was this area of loose hole, if you want to call it, from the inner child not feeling safe because of my childhood. That really came up to help seal it with love. And that love, so what took place after that was every morning my inner child has been totally independent of any human form, including myself. It's been held between Divine Mother of all creation, Divine Father, as the golden child. So it cannot be touched anymore, and it feels so incredible to have my inner child every single day. I see her, and she's just so safe, and she's allowed to be. She's allowed to express. She's allowed to totally feel her joyous, incredible self, which is the allowing the Holy Spirit to come through, and there's no holding back in that place. So she's held by the divine force, and it's transcended, and that's what is truly a feeling of liberation and freedom in me. Yeah. So 2018 frequencies, and let me see here. And Demetrius, we had asked if you were to use a word or sentence about 2018. We're getting personal here. How would you say? What was the question? How would you say, like, what was the biggest thing that transcended in you that has moved you to this other side now, where it no longer has a hold over you? Like, you really can experience your own transformation.
Yeah, we're having a conversation. I know when you came in, Demetrius, is of just being
here
on the other side of it and allowing that celebration, just that ability to congratulate and to feel that strength and that power of moving through it. And I find just a perfect time frame as we reflect to enjoy, to be silly, to be fun, even to be like, wow, what surprised me this year? What was one thing that just...
What surprised you? You tell me. What was the biggest surprise about you?
The biggest surprise.
Like you were totally clueless. Like, oh my God, I was not aware this was impacting me this much.
That's a great one, because it was a year full of a lot of muck. I mean, there's two pieces. I feel, when I go back to my dad, it was amazing when you said after he transcended. I was surprised in the first couple weeks and months how I wasn't deeply as affected as I thought I'd be affected. I feel like I'm a little more affected now, but all the things that I've been working up to and preparing that, when it happened, I felt that I was going to be like this just really deep down, dark, depressed area because of how much love I have for him. In a way, there was such a different shift of celebration in that. I don't know if it was more the surprise, 'cause I felt that coming. Probably my biggest surprise was just a little couple weeks ago, where I may have expressed this before, is just in my childhood, really, where I didn't fully accept myself and really was surprised how much bullying there was from wanting to express my spirituality, wanting to share all the things that was given to me as a child, but really putting that deeply away just to fit in with mainstream society, and recognize how much that had effect on me of expressing who I am, like this held back energy. I wasn't aware that was actually, I was looking throughout my life, because I feel pretty confident and strong in expressing, even though that it's taken a little longer to be on video by myself. I was really surprised that, wow, where was it that in my childhood I didn't accept myself in something that I really loved, I really felt connected with, but somehow buried it just due to the lack of acceptance through all my childhood friends growing up, because I could never really share the experiences that were mind, heart shifting, changing in the camps, what my parents gave to me, the travels, just the wild experience that were happening. Whenever I shared it, it was always made fun of. And so it surprised me when you came home and like, well, I lied under the pyramid all day. I started crying. I was like, wow, I did not realize there was all this stuff, because, I know sometimes in our spiritual nature, even the spiritual, I've done so much work. I've done so much work. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this, an issue where we feel, or I feel, there's so much work that we've done around a certain issue. And we feel like we've cleared it. We feel like it's done. It has no effect over me. And then all of a sudden, there's even a deeper level of it that's hidden. And it's just hidden in a snug way, where it takes a very, very, very sensitive moment to bring that forward. And I feel like it was my own lack of acceptance in myself for
that was holding back.
That was holding back my energy. I thought that I feel one of the biggest surprises. But again, there has been a mountain of them. So I figure if I sit in meditation today, like, oh yeah, that's one surprise. Well, check out the first couple months of the year when you were, afraid to leave the country because you thought, all those beautiful ones that came up. What about yourself?
There were quite a bit of stuff.
What would you think your biggest surprise of just being like, wow? Any ones that just kind of caught you by that, like, wow, I didn't realize that.
I feel, off the top of my head, the biggest surprise I would say was, again, mine also goes back to when we went to Morocco. The amount from my childhood that came up, because I've been out of the country for 30 some years, and so much that was in there that's again been just buried, and recognizing its impact. Recognizing, yes, there is, and it more has to do with the culture, the Middle East culture and religion, and the areas that even as a child, I just didn't resonate. I didn't find truth in it. And but how much it's been sort of like as a way of life. So people have just adopted it. And my rebellion nature is like, I just, not for me. And then, but not too much surprise, because I feel I've been a fighter all my life anyway. It's been, I'll say, Michael, you have to understand, I was born in this incarnation. I came in with these sleeves rolled up. Okay, there's a lot of work to be done on the planet. It's the last incarnation. This has to be done. So it's been like a female fighter I mean, I still feel like there's, but not fight in that way, but bring the transformation forward. So, and the transformation has been that in which I see on the outside, taking it in, transforming it within me, and then bring the light outside of it, and be the example of what's possible. So, yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. And it's interesting in that surprise. It even surprised me to see how that took you down coming back from Morocco. Those 2 weeks where there was just quite a bit of just
A lot of
transformation of just the physical energy that went through. Yet
I feel the other one is not too surprised, but not too sad. Thank you, Michael. The other part is it still surprises me. I have to say, when I go into Transmedia Ship and a trans channel, fully incorporated, right, into that space, all these higher dimensional beings that are able to somehow come through my vessel and talk, it's still trippy for me.
Mm.
I have reverence for it. I have respect for it. I have, all of that. And it still trips me out every time I see the video after, like, wow, that presence, seriously, that spoke through me, because and it's not me, but it is my mental body, because my mental body is like, wow, like, you allowed that presence to just take over your body. And I was kicked out for a while. And I wasn't there, and it's just hysterical. Or the other part of it is like the awe and the wow that I remember when I was 7 in that fatal car crash. I remember when I transformed to this other thing. I was trapped in the car. For those of you that don't know, I have a book called The Day I Became a Superhero. When I was 7, I was in a fatal car crash. And in that moment, something happened, and I was transcended to a higher dimensional aspect of myself. And while my little body was there, 7-year-old, but I was totally in the other body. And it brings me back to that place, because the little body is there, but I'm in this other presence where the little body doesn't have a memory of that, but then is able to do all these other wondrous things. And I feel that was really the start of the channeling in an incorporated way. That gave me that spark when I was 7, because I literally got to experience it. That's why it's always been so easy for me to leave my consciousness. Like, okay, no problem. Let's leave, very quickly. So, but it is still trippy. I laugh about it because, of course, I have gotten more used to it. It is very interesting that this garment we are in is not who we are. It's just one extension of who we are. And when we open it up to its, let's say, softwares, there are all these other abilities in there that are just wondrous and magnificent, and they're all part of you. But the dominant part of you that's been operating gets tripped out by it. Literally.
And what's so beautiful in that is to recognize just how the humility and the humbleness of Honey to bring herself forward in a setting, in a place that we don't know, they don't know, she doesn't know.
I don't know.
And allow that opportunity to come forth. And what puts love and gratitude in my heart is to watch the growing evolution of it.
Yeah.
And really watch how this is connecting your higher powers, your openings, the frequencies that are moving through you, and then sharing that in a very beautiful international setting, from the community you have in Europe to
Mexico,
beautiful Long Island to Mexico. It's fun to connect the dots to see where we go, what the reactions are, and really to step back from it and be like, wow, this is just the peeling off of it, because there's so much. But
I feel also my closest friends that know me, they've known me for years, and they're like, wow, you didn't know.
Which brings forth, I think,
so funny.
which I think brings forth a great point is with all this that's coming forth within you, honey, I really feel there's.
But it's not in me. But I'm sorry, I'm putting up. I feel it's not me. I feel it is in the collective energy.
That's where I was going,
as we're clearing these, there are all these divine aspects of ourselves that is emerging from all lifetimes coming, and that's what. So after you're excited.
That was exactly what
I was going to tell you. So this morning, so Michael and I went and saw Aquaman.
Oh
my goodness! If you haven't seen, you must.
If you're ready for a tearjerker /
you've got to see, especially those of us.
Progression of
all of us that lived in Atlantis, we were like, yes. But anyway, so yesterday morning, I mean, of course, anything to do with Atlantis, I'm always tearing, like, I have so many memories. Michael does. I just start crying and weeping like a baby.
Who gets activated when they go to see a movie theater? Most people are like in their popcorn. I look over her, she's completely activated.
So then what happens is yesterday morning, I start my prayer. My prayer totally was different because as soon as I started breathing, and it's been 4 weeks that somehow under Mother Earth, when I'm connecting to the new Earth, I keep hearing Atlantia. So the Agatha is there, Shambhala is there, Telesians are there, and then Atlantia. So that started 4 weeks ago. It was actually after channeling the masters for the 1111 Stargate. Then from there, so when we see this movie in the morning yesterday, as I'm just starting to breathe and to connect with Mother Earth's heartbeat, I started feeling this presence come from Atlantean beings still underneath Mother Earth. And oh my gosh, so my hands start going into gesture while I'm going into prayer. I can tell I'm starting to go into a transmission by this Atlantean being. I have had, when Phil, who's our guest on Sunday for SSSS, when he was working on me, this Atlantean being came through me, began speaking to him in Atlantean language. So yesterday in the prayer, I could feel the presence. My hands started coming up. My consciousness, but I was standing. I could tell this is about to be a problem. I have to sit somewhere because I'm about to get knocked out somewhere because my consciousness leaves. And if I'm standing like that, I'm not yet in a place where I can open my eyes when I'm going fully incorporated. Anyway, so it was so incredible. So this morning, Michael, which I didn't get a chance to tell you, I'm getting in that place, and then suddenly, Michael, I see myself in a blue. It's more like a silver bluish Atlantean being with it was some sort of like I want to say rope, but different. But I had these. It was more silverish blue, like the kind of the color of the shirt I got you, that one. And then there were these neon blue lights, kind of like some of the ones that I paint on the language of light, on the candles that I've been creating, going, and all this, it almost like a computer chip. Light is the best I can tell you, like a network of light lit up in my body with running through it okay, do you remember in part of the Aquaman where they had the fork and that the way that fork was the trident, the trident, and the way the light was in it was great, like that. It lit up in my body. Illuminated. There goes the word. It was so exhilarating, just feeling. And I said, "My God, I've got to draw this. Oh my God, there are all these lights. This looks like the serial lights, like the gateway lights." And so I highly recommend going to see it. But what is exciting? A point being, what is exciting? There is, once our fields, through all this hard work we've been doing through the transformation, clearing. Thanks to our family, friends, colleagues, and all kinds of collaboration, all these people that have brought up things in which is clearing out of our field. more and more of our divine blueprint is merging forward. More and more of our divine alignment is taking place. And then within this divine alignment, all of these aspects of ourself that have always been there are now able to merge forward. And these are some of the movies that are coming up that are literally creating these activations within us in our remembrance, so that more of our abilities are able to come forward, because they're creating through them, through the masses, these sort of like neuropathic light waves of activation. And the Galactic Federation of Light has said they're using the movie industry through it's called the keywords. They've been using some of the screenwriters, the way they're receiving it, they're going through automatic writing or also channeling the receiving it. So the Galactic Federation of Light, as well as the Intergalactic Council, is working with the movie industry to bring it. But there's both sides of it. The dark is doing its part, and the light is totally doing its part too.
And what's coming forward, which I was going to say, that excitement and that ability within the new year, how much that's being activated in us, how much that's being activated in you guys, and just the ability just to really feel the full euphoria of like, right. Wow, all of these powers are coming open for us to utilize.
Yeah.
And we came out of Aquaman. It's just funny because as Honey so elegantly said, then we turn around on the previews and we see this beautiful movie about this kid. And it's like the kid Arthur. It's like King Arthur, but it's the little kid. Then we see another sign that says the little Angelita, little angel. Like I'm definitely screwing these names up with the movies. But the point being is there's all of these things that are activating, even with our own life, which we don't really watch too much TV. But if there's something,
no, we don't watch TV at all. Cable,
but then there's programs that catch us. So we've been really enthralled in Merlin, or there's these certain things that come through, and it's funny. As we watch, as you watch,
or the cartoon, what was this?
That Merlin's Troll Hunters.
Troll Hunters.
Like, isn't it funny as we're being activated, as you're being activated? It's almost like you're driving, and then there's another like big screen reminding what's happening outwardly because it's happening inside.
Right.
And for me, it's I've been just really getting these past couple days. Is like, wow, this is the time in thousands and thousands of years that we are now open to utilize all the gifts that all of our souls that we've used over years and years and years. And now with the higher support of the angels, the ascended masters, Mother Nature, every single thing that's out there is now giving us the opportunity to fully dive into it and now have that accessibility, because our expression is who we are is now expanding to the highest, fastest, largest vibration it's been ever known to mankind. So there's it's almost at a point where you're like, well, how can I not hold myself back? Because there's so much that's coming through, which of course remains us to be grounded, to be focused, to be safe, to be secure. Yet the excitement of there's so much to look forward to this new year and this power of what's happening. We've both
we talked about 2019, which brings us to this place, because what do you see, feel 2019 for you? Are you excited? Are you hopeful? Do you have faith and trust? How do you see it for yourself? How do you see it for humanity? Very curious to know. Michael and I are, most of you know, we're having our New Year's Day event with called Conscious Creation event here in Northern Virginia. We will be videoing. It is a full 3 hours, so hopefully we'll be able to make it available. There's a lot of exercises that goes on with people. So if any of you were interested, let us know, because you do have to be with a partner to do this. Maybe you can get the recording afterwards and take part in it, because we're going to be supporting people with the invocation and their higher vision for humanity, and to be able to all of us show up, and we do a full ceremonial way of supporting each other's vision, but we're clearing the fields first to be able to allow these higher vision to be able to be anchored, to be able to be materialized. And but it's very, very highly conscious. So anybody that's just kind of doesn't feel they can, they're not part of this. They have to be very much ready for it. So for us, 2019, we have our board and we printed out things, and it's with some, you may have seen the post, like Michael and I are like, oh yeah, this is so freaking exciting, because one part of it we're facilitating, but the other part of it really doing it for us, because we also want to be supported in that grand vision. And the grand vision for us is so exciting. And it was so amazing to be able to sit hour and a half. Michael went through computer, picked out images. I went through computer, picked out images. Then we sat together and we're like, okay, what do you see? What do I see? And like, and just feel the excitement, the joy. There was like no limit.
Right, like anything is possible.
There was no limit. There was nothing held back, right? We're like, okay, well, I want this. And empowering that place, and all of it designed to be of service to humanity. Yeah. It was so we get to experience the pleasure of this in service to humanity. Wasn't it just pure magical?
It was wonderful, because
I don't want to say what it is here, because you know,
it's wonderful because when you could take the opportunity to open up all realms, I felt like it was like turning into a little child. It's like, oh, how can I go into the bag of wishes, into the heart, and just now start playing around with every image that started to come forth, and sharing it. Like, wow, look at that. Oh, look at this. Look at that. And to bring these visions into reality, knowing that our ability to create, our ability to bring that forward is,
and just the joy, the joy. Oh my gosh, we can do this. And when we recognize, there's just no limit. There's no limit. So for us, we're creating this for us because we're the facilitators to help support the other ones with what their vision, whatever the higher vision is, the higher part of themselves that is of service to humanity and Gaia, whatever that is. And so, you know, we're very curious to know, what do you see for yourself, you know, and that's for yourself for 2019.
And to bring, and not to cut you off, love, but to also to bring what I find that HoniB does so well in her ability of expression is to bring that excitement and bring that joy and just bring that like, what is it? Because, you know, in our hearts, there's that expression that we can really, really co-create that ability to come forth, and the juice of it is, the drive of it is, the motivation is that joy and happiness. It's that, well, what is it? You know, because we all know there's things that make us happy. There's things that really we crave.
Do we allow ourselves to get happy? Right. Do we allow ourselves to be like, well, of course, I love living a life that's joyful. I love living a life that is, you know, meaningful. I love living a life that is of service to me and service to others, and spreading the goods, because those of us who are going through our journey of ascension, of becoming, we recognize we already come from there. So we're really bringing the heavenly gifts on earth, and the heavenly gifts are here to be shared with everyone. What it's for us and everyone. We take a little bit for us and the rest is shared. And just as it is, like Michael brings a little bit for himself, then he shares it. I bring it, to the goods are spread to everyone, because our higher dimensional aspects, that's in the giving of that sharing, we're illuminated and lifted even more. So
it's kind of like our hair today. It's like, you know, we decide to go crazy and bring out the fullness of our hair.
This is it.
If we can illuminate this, and we can bring this out in its most unlimited fashion, then all of a sudden people are like, well, I can wear my hair and I can make it as fluffy, crazy, and wild as possible. Because why hold back? I mean, yes, when I look in the mirror or in the camera, I'm like, what is going on there?
Love the wild man of you. Mine too.
There's a caveman going on, but you know, why not bring the lion heart? Why not bring
which is a very Christed energy.
Like, oh, that's right in here. And
it's the passion. They said passion of Christ, right? They said it's the passion. What is it? It said a lion heart. You never hear say a lion's head. Others got great hair on it. You never said be a lion head. You never hear that say, be a lion heart. Right?
Right.
Because it's the heart that gives rise to this. Truly,
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah.
So, but wait a minute, let's ask them. Really want to hear from you. So there are 9 of you watching, but there are few of you responding. So Mariam, thank you for being on. There's Mariam, Christina, Doreen, Nancy, and Demetrius. So please, I would love to hear from you. What do you see in 2019 for you? Yes, I said.
Yeah.
Please just share. What do you see? Are you hopeful? Are you
I'm totally bald?
Huh?
Demetrius says I'm totally bald.
Oh no, you're not. You are Demetrius. The thing is, you started going towards your higher dimensional body way too fast, too soon, darling, too soon. You're still on Earth.
So Demetrius says, I see myself for expanding and sharing my infinite insights to others.
Okay,
Beautiful,
wonderful.
Beautiful, Demetrius.
And
thank you.
Are
Thank you, Demetrius.
Do you feel hopeful for yourself in being in your divine truth? And what about in service to humanity? Do you see humanity, going up, expanding? Do you see it downhill? Like, what do you see for Earth? I'm just very curious to know. I would love to hear from you just very briefly if you like to share, because it would be really wonderful to know that.
I mean, what's beautiful about this is it gives everyone the permission to expand as high and big we can possibly believe it. We can go as far as we can possibly without anyone saying, no, that's too, you can't, no. Like this, it's the full permission to say, wow, what is it that I can possibly imagine to the highest grace of God?
So Nancy is saying, yes, hopeful, joy, trust. Beautiful. That's beautiful. I'd love to hear from you. Doreen says, I hold the vision of a peaceful earth where all beings live in love and honor.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you. I'm totally hopefully for the whole of humanity to evolve to the greatest version of ourselves. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Demetrius, for sure. It's so good. It's so wonderful.
And even for those that are not writing, just to express it within your heart.
No.
And to
I always have hope, but I don't have a particular vision for me. I'm okay with that right now. Okay, Mariam, you're so precious.
So
you do have a vision. You want to be a motivational speaker in front of Lazarus. That's your vision. What do you mean I don't have a vision? Of course you have it.
And that's what I was going to go with. Like for those that are not writing or those that may not have a particular vision, this is playtime. This is time to use the creativity and to honor how pissed you are, Mariam. To honor that angry and to honor that all, because it's you know what? It's all right not to have a vision, but to remember you can always play and you can take. How about this, Mariam? I got one for you. Here's something. Your wand. You have your Harry Potter wand with you, Mariam. And I know.
Yeah, speak Harry Potter to us.
I'm so honored that I can't tell you. I'm so honored that I can't. I know that you have the ability to take your wand and envision the magic that you want to create in the dragons, in the gratitude, in your public speaking, in all that you do right now. There is a vision within that. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. You have that vision, and you can take it to the highest magical, highest realm, because there's that passion for that belief, that passion for magic, that passion to that passion.
I got one for Mariam. Is one of our best friends. So Mariam, I got one for you. What's the name of the lady that wrote Harry Potter that she loves to meet?
Mariam, what's the name that wrote the Harry Potter? We know her.
We forget the name.
What's her name?
They forget Mariam, what was her name? My London friends, Demetrius, I forget her name. J.K. Rowling. There you go. Thank you, ma'am. J.K. Okay, listen, Mariam, here's a vision. You and J.K. Rowling together creating workshops for magic for people. it's so easy for me to see that, like, and helping people to be motivated and inspired. I totally see you.
And then you make a movie.
And you make a movie.
And then you're it. You're in the
That's it.
movie.
Like, it's amazing. Yeah. Tell her that. No, you tell yourself that so you can tell her that, you know? So, but anyway, so there's like infinite ways of having fun with it and enjoying it. And that's like really the whole point, because I feel that allowing the inner child to play is a huge part of this. And so, you know, we're entering this, and I feel like for us, yesterday I started clearing things.
Gosh.
Oh my God, I've been crazy, you know, nuts. Like, I just started going through cabinets and all of this. Michael's like, what's going on? Michael was resting there. I said, Michael, these are all loose ends. So we're gonna vacuum everything, dust everything, going through all cabinets. Everything that is not part of our divine reality has to leave this apartment, because we're welcoming 2019 with the intent, with the incredible alignment, and especially with our vision created together. So there's no part in ourselves is leaking the energy. So we're full force going, standing up for it. And I feel that's a very important part. You have a few more days. Those of you that will be coming to our workshop on New Year's Day, I will be sending the email out tomorrow morning, and just to give you 3 days of preparation, so you can really prepare and then come. So you're coming in with readiness, because we're not here to baby this through you. This is for you. We're here to support as we're doing our part, for our part, because we are all together in it. So. And you have several more days to wrap this up. We're in this part of the moon that's very retracted. This retracted energy allows for us to take care of all the loose ends, whatever that's been left. Create your list of, okay, this has to go, that has to go. Declutter, get rid of things so it's not sitting in your field, because they're all energy. Anything that is like, you know, whether it's like pillow or blanket or clothes are a big one, or things sitting in the cabinet, and sometimes even crystals, that just doesn't resonate with me. Put it aside. It has to move. The energy has to move. You have to be able to let go. Empty your plate so that you were able to allow that in which is that is waiting for you in the etherics to come through you, can come through you. But if you fill that up with everything, especially all the worries, anxieties, and particularly doubt is the one that completely keeps you away from your visions happening, keeps you away from divine alignment to come through you, streamline through you. You're going to have to handle doubt. And the best way is for you to stand up to doubt. You yourself, like, okay, doubt, what you got to say? Let's roll this up. Let's go. Talk to me. I want to hear everything you got to say, so you can catch the illusion that is expressed. One, your heart is like, okay, I heard you. I have compassion for you in the past. Yes, true. Yes, you've been hurt. Yes, you've been betrayed. Yes, have lost faith, trust. But here, I got your back. And you no longer have to be worried about that. So we're going to do this together. It is the merging of the heart and the mind together as one. And really bringing that forward in 2019. And what is all it is an alignment. Once you create this alignment, everything else that you desire in its materialization and for the joy of its expression, it just becomes. So this is the part of it. And your environment plays a big part wherever you are.
I know that we are fully supported. We have every opportunity around us. Miriam, do you see this little guy right here? That is Lord Metatron, Miriam. That powerful individual, this person right here, brought a very powerful message to you. As all of us have the angels, of all of us have the Ascended Masters, we all have this support,
right here waiting for us.
We have the entire team of the dragons, whether they're the earth dragons, whether they're the water, fire, or air dragons. We have the crystal dragons from the Atlantean that were the protector of the Poseidon, the crystals. They are tremendous helpers on our planet right now. We have Source Dragon that is here to support us. I mean, there's so many of them. If we just allow it to work with us, they'll do the magic. There's an entire team of, I call them a gigantic entourage we've come to, and the entourage is here to handle some of these for us. So we just have to delegate. Delegate? Is that correct? Delegate some of these responsibilities. Okay, I need help with this, but it can't be for selfish motives, because I am here to serve my divine purpose. And so you're able to spread the responsibility so they can take on and do their part, and your part is part of other people's part. So on our workshop, we're going to be going through quite a bit of this and exercises and support of the people for that. And please clear your clear as much as you can, so you can start it from that place that is really pure, clean, and clean mind, clean body, clean emotion.
It really sets
the tone.
It sets the tone, sets the foundation, and gives the opportunity to bring forth the new, bring forth the clean, bring forth the pure year that's ahead of us, and to be excited about it. I know sometimes cleaning people don't get too excited about it or think it's a chore, but to get excited about what is now opening up, because beyond our minds, beyond our imagination, we really, really feel and intuitively know there's so much for us awaiting, and it's our creative manifestation, our natural ability that we are here to fully express that. So there's no other time to then jump in the fullness that we are, because there's a lot happening out there, and we're excited. We know that there's we're a part of it. We're honored that you guys taken this time during the holidays to join us. We
this Friday.
We thank you for these times. We all know that the holidays, they create emotions. Our families pull triggers, and all this is pulling us. But when we can all stand together and support one another, and know that we're supported, and know that as we support them, they're supporting us, and it's this beautiful cyclic energy that we're here to really feel this love. And so we're blessed that today we can share that, and we can really bring forth.
And so beautiful, just on a very simple note, this thing that we started with this Friday Tea Time Ascension Talk, we're so grateful, because we can really also go so much deeper about talking about the different codes that are coming in. But I feel like, okay, that's like a computer program, but here we are, we need to be able to relate to each other, and very raw talk about it. Like, for example, we have had, like I expressed a couple of days ago, an interaction with this being who is coming from so much hate attack for me and Michael, and particularly me, and this somebody who's a former client. And it's like, okay, well, how do we apply from this level of consciousness, that in which has awoken to us, to apply it in this time reality, without me talking about codes and gateways? Just, okay, here's the real reality. Here's this person who's not well, who is truly here to jeopardize and bashful and ruin our reputation. But how do we handle that? Because we have to be able to handle the Earth's density. That's where we've come here. But the more we're together in this, we're able to share this, and we were able to pass along the knowledge. We're able to share the love. We're able to hold each other in that place, only speak from our experience, and then we can be lifted with another. So on that note, I want to just really thank all of you that sent so much love and blessings on both of my pages with the information regarding this person. And also I give that responsibility, setting my boundaries strong, and also give the responsibility to angels and masters to take care of her, because in the name of Jesus, what she's using to such level of hate. And just for giggles and laughter, she is indicating that I'm a terrorist. I'm an Iranian terrorist, and I lay down on lavish Persian rugs, and I charge $300-400 people for giving them tea, and I have orgy parties and whatever. So just want to tell you, this is the kind of things this Jesus lover hater is posting, so that I'm deleting. So it's comical, but my heart goes out. There's so much hate in this person that's coming like this, but it just is that energy, right, that we don't necessarily want to interact with, but here it is. We're going to extend the part that we can, and also give the responsibility to the higher team to handle their part. And we're so grateful to all of you that are coming, engulfing that light around it, so that in which needs to, move forward, it can. Yeah.
And we just wish you all a very, very blessed holidays as we are moving closer and closer to the new year, where we are extremely thankful in this tea time and all other tea times you've joined us, and just really being present, listening to yourselves, listening to us, and just supporting us in the highest way possible, because we do feel very blessed.
Yeah, we
very
blessed.
honored.
And then let's find out for a second, Michael. We are blessed. We love doing this. Is that those of you that have been watching, is it benefiting you watching the tea time? Do you feel we should continue? Decide. We're going to do it anyway, but are there? We don't ever plan a topic, anything like that. Is the tea time helping you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll be doing it. Yes,
sure.
Totally.
Yes.
Okay.
I love
Good.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And if what we appreciate is, because this is on the live chat, those of you who are commenting, we're so grateful. If it has served you, the only thing we ask, if this that we have, because we're doing this free, we're doing it from the love of our heart, because we want to share, and we're here to share this collective energy. If somewhere in which whatever has been said that served you, we really appreciate if you just take a couple minutes on after the video the video, after it finishes, the video becomes available. If you would just make a comment on the Mariam, you've been so generous on it. Thank you so much. If it served you, say what it served you, what it did for you, and feel free to share it on your page. Share it. Okay, here's HoniB Michael, they talked about this. Maybe it can serve you. Because the key is when you are showing up in that place. Right now you're doing this on live chat. It's amazing. When you make a comment, you're giving permission to yourself in standing in your truth that has helped you. In gratitude of those who just the space that allowed, it's between your team, our team, and Michael and I talking came together. Then from there, when you share it, Demetrius, you've always been also very sharing, you get it. When you share, you're opening that field within you, so more of the support comes to you. That's why if people understood how valuable sharing is, they would do so much more of it without anything asked, because they'd be like, oh my God, wow, that just opened up more in me. And that's the great, and that supports us as well, because it supports the energetic. So more people are supported, and that's all that is. So thank you. So let's finish this with a quick little end of the year prayer. So let us put your hands in your hearts, dear hearts. Let us breathe in this beautiful blue light and breathe out pink. And let's breathe in the blue flame again. And breathe out pink into your field. And breathe in again the blue ray all the way into your lungs and your field of consciousness. And breathe out pink. And extend it all the way to Mother Earth and Father Heavens. As this tutorial field continues to breathe all around you, as you continue to breathe the blue and the pink around you. Let us bring ourselves to this moment of gratitude in our hearts. in the heart and mind of God, in the divine alignment of Source and the presence of the I am that I am, in this now, in this Venus Friday, in this last Friday of 2018. Let us give so much gratitude and acknowledgement for every single day of 2018 that we have experienced individually and together collectively, sharing the moments of joy and celebration, as well as the opposition, the moments of pain, despair, and hurt. Let us thank the angers, the frustrations. Let us thank the hopes and the faiths. Let us thank all brothers and sisters of light that are doing their part in divine plan. Let us thank ourselves with each step of courage that we took in this 2018, honoring our emotions, honoring our feeling, honoring our heart, honoring the heart aspect of ourselves, merging the sacred divine feminine inside of us with our sacred divine masculine, coming into the home in the reunion of the sacred divine marriage, in that perfect alchemy that we already come from, and we were separated from it, and we have found our way back home in this incredible maze. Let us feel gratitude for our walk on Mother Earth. Let us have compassion for all the choices we have made, even the choices that were coming from fear, because we didn't know any better. Or maybe we knew better, but we just didn't quite have the divine will behind us, and that we're transforming out of. Let us thank the courageous moments when we chose to stand up and say, enough is enough. I will no longer betray my own trust with my heart. Let us thank every single person that we encountered in 2018 that was a present, whether they ignited us, they lifted us, they inspired us, they motivated us, they brought us joy, and also the ones that brought anger and triggers in us, in which we had to work through the layers of the clearing within. Let us thank our beautiful pets in form and in spirit side. Let us thank our family members, the ones that we are in great vibration harmony with, and the ones that we couldn't be farther away from vibration. Let us thank that every single one have a purpose in our life. And we're just so grateful in this moment to acknowledge everything that we have experienced and the journey of further evolving, becoming the realized state of the I am that we are, in its true essence of divinity, purity, compassion, faith, trust, beauty, union, courage, expansion, and liberation. We're so grateful to have each other. We're so grateful for technology that gives us the ability to come together. We're so grateful to Mother Earth, to New Gaia with her incredible new grids. We're so grateful to the elementals, the incredible crystal beings that have been working so much with us to helping us rise in our divinity. We're so grateful to the whale masters and dolphins of our oceans that are continuously creating the Fibonacci sequence in the oceans, helping us in the clearing. We're so grateful to our spirit guides, spirit animals, our angels and the guardians and ascended masters, the seven mighty Elohims, the ascended masters, I said that. The higher councils, the sacred orders, the galactics, the legions, the intergalactics, our star brothers and sisters, and beyond all. We're so grateful to divine source of oneness, the source of all life, the source of illumination, the eternal flame that we extended from as a spark of light, temporary in this form, and that will return back to. Thank you so much, 2018, for helping us evolve. And we fully embrace you in gratitude and leave behind that which no longer serves us with its program and conditioning. As with our hearts, we move with intention and consciousness into 2019. Aho, namaste, and lakesh banurish. It is done, it is so. It is done, it is so. It is done, it is so. Breathe in that place. Breathe out. Please repeat after me. I am faith.
I am faith.
I am trust.
I am trust.
I am whole.
I am whole.
I am grounded.
I am grounded.
I am elated.
I am elated.
I am creative.
I am creative.
I'm expansion.
I am expansion.
I'm universal.
I'm universal.
I'm consciousness.
I'm consciousness.
I'm alignment.
I'm alignment.
I am whole.
I am whole.
I am abundant.
I am abundant.
I am light.
I am light.
I am love.
I am love.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Wow. And so it is, everyone.
See you in the new year.
We'll see you in the new year. Love you all so much. Thank you so much for being with us.
Have a good day. Bye.